Michael Saylor just eliminated another 10,645 whole Bitcoiners from circulation. Most people think history changes slowly. It doesn't. It changes quietly, then all at once. Again, I repeat, Michael Saylor just eliminated this week another 10,645 whole Bitcoiners. Bitcoin, yes, but Bitcoiners, whole Bitcoiners, people that could have owned one Bitcoin, gone. And mind you, he did the same thing last week as well. This is not a drill, folks. This is happening in real time. The article here so you can see it. Get the screen bigger. There we go. He's eliminating people 1 week after the next. Not traded, not flipped, removed. And most people are treating this just like another headline. Because for all intents and purposes, we've got used to a lot of the headline reading and the things that are happening right now. We've been seeing it for a couple of years now. Things that would make people quake 10 years ago. Now it just become, run of the mill, whatever. But years from now, this moment will be obvious. Because what Saylor is really doing isn't buying Bitcoin. He's igniting game theory. He's ignited game theory more than probably any man or woman out there. He's showing every CEO, every treasury manager, every allocator exactly what happens when you front run a broken monetary system with a fixed supply asset. He is paving the way. He is setting the wake, if you will. This isn't about price tomorrow. When you focus on fiat price, you get fiat games. Period. When you forget the fundamentals and you stop focusing on what's important. Newsflash, Bitcoin doesn't need price to go up in order to work correctly. Bitcoin just is. You can remove yourself from the system immediately. You can choose to use the money it doesn't steal from you immediately, today, now, right now. And ironically, there are people that do that. Wow, the network goes up. The value goes up of the network. Is it more important to have $1 million Bitcoin, or is it more important to orange pill 1 million families? And again, irony. It's not a trick question. The irony is when you orange pill 1 million families, price will go up. That's the irony in all of it. The big guys up top, they pay attention. This is about supply disappearing before people even realize what's happening to them. If math and logic ran the world, we'd already be on a Bitcoin standard. But they don't. Narratives do. By the time the narrative changes, the Bitcoin's already gone. If you're watching headlines, if you're in the legacy news trying to figure out what in the world's happening, well, good luck. The people who win won't be the ones who reacted. They'll be the ones who understood what this meant before it was obvious. It's very, very simple. Saylor just bought almost $1 billion of Bitcoin. 10,645 Bitcoin. Almost at 700,000 Bitcoin. 671,268 Bitcoin. The man's on a mission. You can't say he's not convicted. Who knows what his intentions are? Who knows what ends up coming of it? But again, it's game theory. Countries are doing it. This is not speculation. This is a strategic accumulation. Institutions don't buy this way unless the end game is clear. And we're seeing it, like we said, countries mining, countries adopting, corporations adopting. All the shenanigans, JP Morgan Chase, NASDAQ, MSCI, all this garbage. Don't be distracted by the noise. We got to start playing the Zoolander clip, I think, here on the show to see him walking down when they're training him and brainwashing him and saying, hey, Derek, don't be distracted by the people around you. So much of this is just mental. It's just a mental game. Money is psychological. It's mental. You know, many people will come up and say, oh, Bitcoin can't work. Bitcoin can't work. Number one, obviously they haven't done their homework. They don't know the properties of it and the technicalities of it. So they just dismiss it. But they also say, Bitcoiners and non-Bitcoiners, well, government will ban it. We are the government. Newsflash. Politics is downstream from culture. Price action does not equal reality. Treasury behavior tells the truth. Acta non verba. Deeds, not words. If math worked, again, we'd already be on a Bitcoin standard. If logic worked, but that's not how humans work. We are emotional creatures. It's narratives in emotion and stories, parables, analogies, memes. Bitcoin wins on scarcity, energy, game theory, incentives, but societies don't move on logic alone. All the properties are there. It drives you insane. What's the saying that before you get Bitcoin, people look like they're insane, but once you get it, it seems obvious? It couldn't be more true. I often joke with people too. It's a 1 second decision. It truly is the 1 second decision just to, boom, make a decision. I'm not using money that steals from me, that has inflation, that someone else can print away and I get taxed on it. That's a literal insanity. Find me another definition for that. That is insanity. And it's only because the next guy, you're betting on the next guy not waking up either. That's what you're doing. You're betting on the next person not waking up. You have the cure for economic cancer? Of course I'm going to go shout it from the rooftops. Of course I'm going to talk about it. Of course I'm going to make content about it, write books, interview people, do stuff. You're damn right. Literally the cure for economic cancer. You sit down at holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all these things, and people talking about how they're hurting, how they're struggling, how they have too much month at the end of their money. And I'm not going to tell them about it. We're not going to talk about it. It's a confidence game. Period. Fiat is a con game, a confidence game. Where do we think hyperinflation comes from? Hyperinflation is the loss of confidence. It doesn't matter how many aircraft carriers you have. It doesn't matter how many weapons you have. It does not matter. That doesn't stop human thought. Period. It can't, and it never will. When the people learn, when the iceberg has warmed up enough that eventually gets top heavy and flips, that's a gradually and then suddenly part. That's the part we are entering. That's the phase we are about to enter this next 5-10 years. We are here, folks. We're at the end of the cycles. The Titanic's breaking in half. Still, people thought, even when it hadn't broken in half yet, they still thought it wasn't going down. How many people do we know that we can't admit to ourselves that the system is broken, completely breaking everywhere? Homelessness, wars everywhere, infighting, assassinations, murders, killings. Yes, will some of them still happen on a Bitcoin standard? Yes, of course. Of course. It's not utopia, but it's an incentive war, a psychological war we're in. Like we said, Bitcoin wins on scarcity, wins on energy, renewables, cleaning up the environment, game theory, incentives. But societies don't move on logic alone. Again, they move on emotion, fear, and permission. People have this psychosis around what is, and again, you can thank government-run schools. Rural memorization. I can do this. Bell rang. I can go do that. I can finally eat my lunch. Here's when I can go on vacation. Thank you, government-run schools. And it's funny. Public bathrooms are hated by all, but yet public schools, I'll send my family there 8 hours a day for 12 years. I'll go there for 8 hours a day, 12 years. I'll go there for extra school. I'll go to the public school. I'll do it. Why not? Pretty wild. Really is truly incredible. The cognitive dissonance we play on ourselves. Again, if it was based in logic, we wouldn't do many of the things we do. But again, this is about minimizing collateral damage. Retail is there. There's plenty of retail money. They just aren't enough pain yet. The pain to change is not greater than the pain to exist in the system that they're in. They just haven't experienced the pain yet. 50-year mortgages, 15-year auto loans, ninja loans from 15 years ago, stimmies 5 years ago, one after another. That's coming again. 10 to 20 years from now, this will be a Bitcoin standard. But the caveat is there will be many black swans in between then. So the timeline is going to move up. The iceberg will flip here sooner than later because government can't help itself. It's already drank from the chalice of easy money, easy currency. It's not money anymore, easy currency. So it cannot stop. It's a debt-based system. It's a debt-based system. There's nothing it can do anymore. It has to keep printing. It has to keep indebting itself. It has to keep literally going insane. There's nothing it can do. It has to gorge on more of that cheap, easy credit. Inflation. Moving rates down eventually. The interest on the debt. Massive interest on the debt. What is it? $1 trillion, $2 trillion a year in deficit? Well, here we go. It's going to keep continuing. And the higher those rates stay, the more that interest rate is going to climb. And that's just inevitable. Look what's happened over the last 15, 20 years of the amount of debt that's piled up on the balance sheet. It took what? 5, 10 years to get to what we accumulated over 250 years? That's insane. That is literal insanity. And these things can happen overnight. The loss of confidence in the dollar happens overnight. Hyperinflation happens overnight. But it's through education. It's through black swan events. It's through bad things happening. Unfortunately, I hate to say it. I don't want it to be. That's why we do what we do. So there doesn't have to be black swan events that then finally, oh yes, okay, people are right. Hard money is what we need. You're right. I wish I would have known. Wish someone would have been telling us. Put the work in. Do something. Each one teach one. It's a very simple process of each person teaching one person, and that extrapolates out. Then that person teaches one person. Again, this is not logic based. It is emotion based. We do the work, we put the work in, proof of work. That's what Bitcoiners believe, right? Proof of work. Money needs to have work behind it to have its value. So what are we doing? How are we doing that? What are we supporting? The numbers only take us so far. The last 2 years have shown us, just focusing on numbers, price, all that, what good has that done? All the news headlines, all the shenanigans. Again, many of us thought it was going to validate and show people that were non-believers, hey, this is a real thing. Look, these certain people that have power, they're going to, not that they're going to let us use our Bitcoin in perpetuity, but it would Trojan horse people around the world. Oh my goodness, the leader of the free world is in it. I need to figure out Bitcoin. Now, Jack Dorsey, ironically, has probably done more with Cash App, and what they're doing is to start orange pilling people now, just because they have 4 or 5 million businesses. They're now starting to learn about Bitcoin. Well, if we can overrun the system before the government can get too much of its paws on the system. And I mean, look, how many people won't use a circular economy, won't buy Bitcoin products, won't do anything, won't spend their sats. They won't replace and then spend because they're worried about a couple dollars in capital gains. Well, look, we have the capital gains that have people in fear, have people literally trapped and can't use the Bitcoin. What's the point? What's the point at the end of the day? If we're not creating the circular economy and the velocity of Bitcoin, the velocity of money, how are we going to build if we don't have a network, if we're not actually giving energy and breathing energy into the network, breathing life into it? Yes, mining is the big kahuna, and that's the big part of it. But if we don't have velocity of Bitcoin and replacing first, so buying some Bitcoin if you need to, and then sending it right away, that's how we start doing this. So we can start testing the network even more as we go forward. Again, people that are concerned about miners over here, well, more transactions are going to help that. Start using it. These things will work themselves out, the fees and things like that. I wanted to bring that into it. But again, how do we give credence to the network? We have many people, Bitcoiners and non-Bitcoiners, at least from my chair, looks like a lot of people just think it's another asset in the system. Just part of the portfolio. Vanguard just came in. They said 1 to 4% of the portfolio. A lot of people think it's just another part of your portfolio. That's anything but. It's a protocol outside the sinking Titanic. If we have this mindset that it's just another asset inside the protocol or inside the fiat legacy monetary system, then we're just right back on the Titanic where everyone else is, where real estate is, where gold and silver, stocks, your insurance, your brokerage accounts, your businesses, all that's denominated in real estate. Again, newsflash, there's no one walking around exchanging gold and silver with each other. There's no one that even accepts gold and silver. You're not denominating your life in ounces. Again, I've been there. I was that guy 10 years ago and 15 years ago. No one's doing it. Gold and silver guy is hoping there's an asteroid that hits the earth, but that's the only way you become relevant in a global society. It's not a fun way to live. So if we're going to live in this world, which keeps trending digital, technological, then of course, interplanetary, wherever we're going, of course, it's going to be a global final settlement ledger that can't be changed. If we only had one of those. And if that's new, it's new to someone, then study Bitcoin. Start looking into Bitcoin and seeing why people say those things. Trust, but verify. Or just verify. You don't have to trust at all. It's a trustless system. Permissionless system. If you're homeless or if you're the biggest player in the world, either way. Permissionless. No one has to give you permission to be on the network. And your node just does just as much as my node does. Just because you have more Bitcoin doesn't mean, just because Sailor's buying this Bitcoin, don't get it twisted. Bitcoin can be honeypotted in the sense of who has more Bitcoin, but it can't be controlled or centralized. It's a decentralized network. The nodes are what run the network. And remember, politics is downstream from culture. Politics reflects what people tolerate. Nothing more. Even inside of Bitcoin, but especially inside the fiat system, a small percentage refusing to comply changes everything. Most people don't resist evil, they adjust to it. Bitcoiners underestimate how much standing up actually matters. Evil only exists because good people stand by and do nothing. This is a story of life, the story of humanity. Bitcoin adoption lags because people wait to be told it's okay. Is that what the people in America, at least my American brethren listening, and they're in earshot of this, is that what George Washington did? Did he, was he waiting? Oh, King, can I cross the Delaware tonight and come attack your troops and the Hessians over here at Valley Forge Christmas night? Was that what he was doing? Was Thomas Jefferson waiting to write the Declaration and say, you know what, hey King, I'm thinking about writing this thing? Was Thomas Paine super pumped with his society, and so he's like, you know what, I'm not going to write this pamphlet about why we need to separate church and state, why we need to remove ourselves from the British crown? The people in America have the freedoms they have, the freedom to be apathetic, the freedom to not take any action, because people like this did take action. All the charts, numbers, graphs, macro, get it out of here. Doesn't matter. All the logic, numbers, it doesn't matter. That's what Neil Fletcher, again, this whole book is about this. Ethics before economics. All the economics in the world don't matter if you don't have ethics, if there are no ethics. And that's what Bitcoin sets out to do. It sets out to invert the incentives back to putting consumers and producers on the same side of the table, governments and people on the same side of the table. One of my favorite lines of the Declaration of Independence, if I may, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and institute new government. It's incredible. And then the last part, because we're going to talk about Keone here in a second, the last line of the Declaration. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. If I or any of us have any honor left, I guess that is. I also want to read the introduction, the first paragraph of Common Sense. Not sure how many people have read that or read Common Sense in general. Perhaps the sentiment contained in the following pages are not yet, and this was written and published, a number of months before the revolution, and an argument to the people of why we're going to war, why we need to do this, why we need to separate church from state. Perhaps the sentiments contained in the following pages are not yet sufficiently fashionable to procure them general favor. A long habit of not thinking a thing wrong gives it a superficial appearance of being right. Think about that. Let's read that again. A long habit of thinking a thing wrong, a long habit of not thinking a thing wrong, so good people standing by and doing nothing, gives it a superficial appearance of being right. So the last 5 years, we've seen all kinds of stuff like this, right? If no one's going to stand up and do anything, if no one's going to stand up and say anything, then government will just do whatever. And I guess it'll be right. A superficial meaning of being, of validity of being right. Well, I guess it's okay because no one stood up and did anything. I didn't say anything. So here we are. A long habit of not thinking a thing wrong gives it a superficial appearance of being right and raises at first a formidable outcry in defense of custom. But the tumult soon subsides. Time makes more converts than reason. Time makes more converts than reason. Time makes more converts than reason. So what have we been talking about? Logic, numbers, macro, charts, facts. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They gave all the greatest arguments in the world to the king. What did the king say? Sorry. and they said in the declaration, right? We addressed all these things with the king, and it just was met with more injury. asking for can we get this regulation? Can we get this crypto tax? Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Here we are, folks. Here we are. Politics is downstream from culture. Politics reflects what people tolerate. Nothing more. A small percentage refusing to comply changes everything. Most people don't resist evil, they adjust to it. Bitcoiners underestimate how standing up actually matters. We all do. But I'm speaking to Bitcoiners because I feel that we are on the front lines, so to speak. The proverbial front lines. We're actually clued in and plugged in the most. Hard money built families. Fiat breaks them. This is the foundation of society. The nuclear family has broken everything. Hard money era was one job, one income, family formation, long-term planning. Fiat era is gambling, replaces savings. Sports betting replaces investing. Nihilism replaces purpose. People aren't lazy, they're financially disoriented. They're broken, their wills are broken. We only need a couple percent. And the iceberg flips. Hyperinflation is a loss of confidence. It's truth being told to the masses and a few percent waking up and recognizing. Question to the audience is this: does this trend get disrupted? Or do you think this is just how the world works now? So again, we talked about vibes, energy, and why it wins. The system survives on vibes, on narratives, on memes, on emotion and distraction. So people are like, oh, chill out, stack sats and chill. Oh, again, respectfully, there's not many things that have been done in life because people just sat around and chilled. I mean, again, you can put some in the chat. If I'm missing something, let me know. You need conviction and patience, action, proof of work. You don't need permission to exit. None. You can just do things. So the Samurai Wallet guys, great example. Keanu Rodriguez, we had the live stream with him last night. He's going to prison. Him and Bill, he's going to prison in January. Keanu's going on Friday, possibly going to be pardoned. The Samurai Wallet case was a warning shot to all people who like freedom. This isn't about crime. It's about control. Financial privacy, or any privacy, does not equal guilt. If you can't transact privately, you don't own anything. Bitcoin without privacy is just another surveillance rail. It really is. So we have a long road ahead of us. We have a fight ahead of us. I'm using a restream today, so I got to figure out how to share this with you guys. See if I can. No idea where it went, but here we are. Try to share it with you. The Keone. I want you guys to, if you haven't seen the petition or signed it yet, please check it out. Please do. It only takes a few seconds. It's not, here it is. Bob Van Kirk published it. So I think it's billandkeone.org. Go check this out. Go read about it. Go read the story. There's been a ton of podcasts lately about them, what's going on, and what they're working on, what they're doing, explaining everything. You know, Warren Davidson throwing in support, obviously. And this is what Bitcoiners do best. And we galvanize. We get together. We stand up for freedom. We take action. So go check out the site. Of course, I'm not sharing it because I'm not a professional podcaster by any means. Don't have Joe Rogan's team here. So go check that out. And let me see. It's not sharing the other screen. Let me share the other screen now. Now I got it up. So let's get you the Keone and Bill website. There we go. I'm using Restream. Been doing Riverside and StreamYard, or Restream. Now I'm using StreamYard. So I'm testing a bunch of other ones. So we'll see. I'm trying to see which things are which, how we can stream better, what's actually happening. What up, guys? What is up? Oliver, great to see you. So this is it. This is the game. Sailors stacking quietly, eliminating whole coiners left and right. Governments are panicking all over. The fiat system's crumbling. Oh man, society is distracted by who knows what. Kim Kardashian's chest, which is the thing, I guess what we always come back to, Sydney Sweeney's chest, sporting events, NFL, whatever, watching other people live their life and live their dreams. And our will's been broken. Bitcoin keeps absorbing all the chaos, keeps taking the hits. Bitcoin obituary number 500. The question isn't, will Bitcoin win? The question is, will you act early or wait until it's culturally acceptable? I think that's the big thing. Dagger, yes. Wait for me to get a full coin. More discount, please. Yes, truly. Chinku Nakamoto, Bitcoin gang, what is up? The dollar is dying. I mean, again, every fiat currency has gone to zero in the course of all of human history. This is pretty basic stuff. Wow, I'm still not sharing this, am I? Holy cow, guys. Again, trying to get used to some of these different platforms, so bear with me. This is the Keone website. Here it is. Go check this out. Go check that out. See the story. Like I said, tons of podcasts explaining what's happening. But this is a shot across the bow at all of us. Anyone who likes their freedom, buckle up. Buckle up. These guys had some different plans. It's going to be, how do we fend off these guys? Keep your enemies closer. So, what are we going to do? How are we going to act? Wow. Destroying my sticky notes in here and my books. Yeah, but the Revell model aircraft carriers don't count though. Mini malls, man. What is it? Mini Malazam? Mini Malazman? I love it. I love it. The models. I got my model airplanes. I got some of them. Those aren't all of them. I love that. The dollar goes down and Bitcoin goes up. That's the irony in all this. It's like Max Kaiser talking a couple months ago about the Pakistan and India situation. Hey, how do we fix this? How do we fix this situation, guys? And he's like, well, I mean, I can tell you what to do. You just get on a Bitcoin standard. At the end of the day, though, you guys keep fighting and printing currency to kill each other, though. I mean, I just keep getting wealthier, I guess, in that time period. And that's the irony of all this, though. Even if you go to a Bitcoin standard, as we said many times, the last person on a Bitcoin standard still benefits. The last person. Because as society, as people are getting wealthier, those people that keep adding themselves to the Bitcoin network keep getting wealthier over time. They're using a peer-to-peer, trustless, immutable network, ledger network, that is giving them their independence back, giving them their power back. And society is getting better from that. So there's less unrest, there's less war, there's less things going on because now it doesn't make as much sense. I have a good life. Things are looking better and better. I'm off the hamster wheel. So the last person inside of Bitcoin wins. They still win. She wins. That's the unbelievably amazing part. That's what happens when you adopt a positive sum game instead of a zero sum debt spiral game. Fiat political trash token. Debt begets debt. Simple as that. This is incredibly easy. That's why the debt ceiling, all these things are complete clown world. There is no amount of debt they won't print, and it will all crash and be absorbed into Bitcoin. Bitcoin is completely finite, right? It's completely finite, just like your finite time on Earth. It's the only two finite assets that I truly know of. Like truly finite. You literally only have time on Earth, such and such time, and you have 21 million Bitcoin. There's no artificial scarcity. I know there's people the other day that were like, well, this is kind of this is finite. No, those are the only two completely finite, no arbitrary artificial things going on. Completely finite. So we can drive to everything in the world by 21 million. You cannot mess with that. You flip the incentives completely on its head. So we know, therefore, humans, one after another, over time, will continue to go and run to the hardest asset there is, the hardest money there is. Excuse me. It's a money protocol outside of the assets, liabilities, the system over here off the Titanic. So because people keep printing fiat, humans will continue looking for the best representation of their time and energy. And if Bitcoin's finite and time is finite, then Bitcoin equals time and time equals Bitcoin. So your best representation of your time and energy is best put in this container, in this network, in the Bitcoin network. Jake, finally catch you live. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, trying some different times too. So, I mean, let me know. I'm trying to hit times. I try to not hit times that are around other people's times. We've been trying all kinds of different times. Going live tomorrow with Robin Sear and Rajat again. I did one with, which was vertical. Again, I was trying StreamYard, guys, so bear with me. So it was going vertical on the one on Monday we did. I restreamed from his channel. But I'm going to do another one tomorrow with Robin and Rajat. And then Friday, we will have, we're going to be doing a live probably at 3:30 p.m. Eastern for an hour and a half, 3:30 to 4:30, 3:35 p.m. Eastern with Jason from Meanwhile, Jason Leibowitz, who we had on our podcast a little bit ago, talking some Bitcoin denominated life insurance, whole life insurance, infinite banking, all that. So that'll be a fun one. I'll probably go live Saturday too. We're going to have a bunch of lives, bunch of content. Podcast coming out Sunday, which I think you guys will be very interesting. You guys will enjoy that. And a couple times we'll go live next week, actually, and a couple pods next week will drop. So we got a really ending with a bang this year, and we already got a ton of interviews scheduled for next year as well. Tony Asbach, Samson Mao, really the first couple days we're recording with, and then a bunch of others that I'll tell you guys about later. It's going to be a banger 2026. Glad you were able to catch me live, Jake, and let me know on the times. Appreciate you guys' feedback on everything, because we're trying to make some content in different times of the day. Live obviously is going to be huge just for everyone going forward. I mean, I think everyone's starting to recognize that. So it's fun. It's fun having people on and having guests on as well, and talking to you guys in the chat. So I appreciate that. Thank you for the work you do. I appreciate that a ton. Yeah, I appreciate that a lot. It's a calling, and it's calling in the sense of it's a calling for all of us, right? And that's why we're here. That's why you guys are here. There's something inside that you feel in you, compelled to open your mouth. And again, like we said earlier, it's an economic cure for economic cancer, and everyone is infected with it. So we have to talk about it. And I appreciate you guys for the kind words. We do have the power. We absolutely do have the power. Kenyon, how do you say your name? Kenyon Beats? He is a hologram. Oh, man. When the Fed bails out banks, Bitcoiners will see our stacks rise in value. The printers work for us now. Yeah, I mean, one of the craziest things, again, is that Bitcoiners will continue to get wealthier, so they'll continue to accrue more power. They'll continue, some Bitcoiners will go into positions of power, and will start defunding the state even more. That's the crazy part is. They're not going to be able to stop it. The crazy part is, this is where the game theory really gets crazy. If you've ever gone down just the thought experiments of, as other countries come in, as you know, the UK, the UK might be like the last country to come into Bitcoin, right? UK, Australia, some of these countries, Canada, who knows? Maybe the US even. Some of these Western countries that are just so backwards, and they will literally have to pay whoever $20 million, $50 million, $100 million, $200 million per Bitcoin as they print more and more currency. And they will have that wealth transfer will go from the nation states to the person that's going to hopefully probably not trade it for currency, we'll say, but if you were trading it for an asset, something like that. So maybe it's, it still works out, right? If you're going to go from the government trying to get Bitcoin and you're making that swap, hopefully you're doing it quickly. And you're using it to obtain other assets maybe at that point, or whatever it is, businesses, real estate, something like that. But again, those are maybe some talks for other days we can talk about. That was the old world that I used to be in, the cash flow world, the real estate world, and stuff like that, right? That's a different world that we can get into. But I think that's going to be very interesting, because that transfer of wealth is going to be massive from the people that are trying to get in Bitcoin. And if you can peel off a little bit of Bitcoin, 0.01 Bitcoin, 0.001 Bitcoin, 1 Bitcoin, whatever it is, you're peeling those little pieces off, maybe 5% of your stack or 10% or whatever it is, and people are running in at these higher fiat prices. That transfer of wealth going to Bitcoiners is going to lead to the halls of power, having way more legacy assets. So you're going to have more voting rights in companies. You're going to own more real estate, land, or whatever it is. But that transfer of power is something that almost no one talks about. I don't know why that doesn't get talked about very much, but that to me, it's an incredible, because number go up. Like, okay, but like, what is number go up though? Actually, what are we doing with that? And I think that's the end game that you have to paint for people, because it brings it back around to what people already know, which is, I know this fiat world already, or or a lot of people that are in this space already, or the macro number people, or gold or crypto people. A lot of people in that space, if you're paying attention at all, you're probably decent with numbers. A lot of guys, men, whatever, 25 to 30 years old up to 65, 75 years old, that tend to be in the space. That's the demographics of our show. A lot of the Bitcoiners I know, their shows, crypto shows, that's the demographics. So you kind of know that world. So how do we bring this back around? How do we bring more people in and loop them in and wrap them into our circle? I think that's going to be one of the ways to speak to normies, pre-coiners, Bitcoiners, crypto people, everyone, and try to bring everyone under the tent of Bitcoin. So I think this is a really big thing that people don't talk about. Shinku. Love the Jesus hat. Yes, my brother-in-law got this for me. He actually has a different one. It's pretty. I think his says Christ the King on it. It's just a white one with Christ the King on it. And then he doesn't like, it's a trucker's hat, like the mesh in the back. He doesn't like the mesh one, so he gave me this one. Very generous. And I run a little hotter than he does, so I like the mesh one. A little breathe a little bit more. So pretty cool hat. I've been wearing it all the time the last couple of weeks. So thank you. Just hey, all the glory. Trying to humble myself, that's for sure. Yeah, point of sale is the final barrier to mass adoption. It's been possible for many years, but we haven't seen it prevalent. Why? Because it would instantly replace the existing system. Yeah, and it just goes back to, you think about all the noise, right? Like AI, how much people have talked about AI from the legacy system, whatever. And it's like, Bitcoin was always, people were tiptoed around Bitcoin so much, right? Because let's be real. There's the government, right, wrong, or indifferent, is scared of Bitcoin. Now again, government is people. It's a group of people. So everyone wins individually. All the people win. But government itself comes out with, the mandates, and then people are putting out mandates from government because they're maybe scared of losing power or whatever it is. So, they're thinking of it backwards, unfortunately. However, all that being said, is you see like the AI narratives shaping out and taking fold here, where energy usage is all of a sudden good. Excuse me? The last 15, 16 years, all we've heard is Bitcoin boils the oceans. Bitcoin uses energy, and it's the whole network uses as much as the country of Sweden. Are you kidding me? Number one, again, no one does their homework ever. They never talk about all the good that Bitcoin mining is actually doing, right? As we know, as Bitcoiners, Bitcoin mining, if people cared about global warming, this is how global warming is a farce as well. Because if people cared about Bitcoin, global warming, like if Greta actually cared about Bitcoin mining, she'd be all over. If the WF cared about global warming, actually, or Club of Rome or something, they would be all over Bitcoin mining, because it's cleaning up the environment. It's the only system I know that's actually cleaning things up. I've seen anecdotal cases of people I know that are like, hey, I visited Costa Rica or visited El Salvador, and there had a guy who had a generator he'd built, and he was dumping grease, like the flux capacitor in Back to the Future, and he's like dumping all the stuff, this waste that was being dumped into a pond from a restaurant in, I think it was Costa Rica. It was one of the Latin American countries. And they asked if they could start dumping the stuff into their thing instead. Like before the restaurant went and dumped it in the pond, was killing the wildlife there. Hey, can you do this? They were mining Bitcoin attached to their generator, and it was cleaning up the pond. Hey, we're putting a mining rig on top of a flared gas or oil well or methane gas or whatever it is. So you have all these ways. And the Bitcoin network is, I believe, someone can put in the comments and correct me, but I think it's the biggest user of renewables on Earth. And so you just have such cognitive dissonance. And again, this is the point of the show too. All the facts are our way, right? All the facts point towards Bitcoiners. First principle thinking, the facts, logic, all this stuff, reason. But as we talked about in here, time, the end of the first paragraph of common sense, time makes more converts than reason. And unfortunately, in that time is a lot of black swans, is a lot of bad events, social unrest, things that are happening that wake people up, because facts, logic, and reason don't generally do it. And because they're believing narratives. Remember, that's why narratives are so important from Bitcoiners, memes, all these things. Because the narratives from the legacy network, the fiat network, is Bitcoin bad, boils the oceans. All of a sudden, Bitcoin's no one says anything about Bitcoin. I haven't really heard much energy FUD other than a random person here and there, but no like top down energy FUD over the last year plus, because all of a sudden AI's here. And if you say anything bad about energy, then you can't have AI because AI uses even more energy. And so what they're not saying is almost as damning as what's being said, because now there's nothing on Bitcoin energy. Now energy usage is all of a sudden great because AI is controllable. It's centralized. So now people can be controlled with AI, it's technology, big tech, government. So now it's okay. It's totally fine. Nothing to see here, guys. And so again, that's nation state level propaganda. How can someone pay? Who's paying for 15, 16 straight years? Is it one government? Is it a bunch of governments? Probably, that are paying for media, legacy media, altcoin narratives, whatever it is, to FUD Bitcoin and attack Bitcoin. Fortunately, Bitcoin's designed to be attacked. It's anti-fragile, but this is what we've been dealing with. And so the fight's not going to be easy. It is a narrative fight. It is a psychological war, 4-dimensional, 5-dimensional war, 5G warfare, whatever you want to call it. But it's fought in the mind. It's a mind virus. And so the battle is going on up here and communicating with other human beings. All paper and Bitcoin derivatives would collapse instantly. Yeah, it's coming. The whole system's imploding. We're building the lifeboat out next to it. It is, and it's crazy. The ship's going down. The Legacy Titanic's going down. It goes slowly, and everyone's told it can't sink. But the life raft is over here. It's scary. It's small asset class in a big dark ocean. I know this is going down. The Titanic already hit the iceberg. All fiat currencies go to zero in all of human history. We're voting new captains in, though, after we did. And we're shuffling deck chairs, trying to get in different assets. And we're jumping hoops and crypto tax hoops and real estate tax hoops and all this BS. But we're still going to be 12,000 feet under. And we're just, I don't know what we're doing. We're trying to like move. If I can move this one last chair, maybe I'll make it when the ship goes down. Or if I can vote this next captain in, maybe we'll make it. And you have Bitcoiners out there in that scary ocean yelling, hey, get on the life raft. Get on this protocol, this money outside the system. And it looks scary. We might die. I mean, there's a chance that we die out here on the life raft, but I know you guys are going down. I mean, it's like, what kind of chances they're going to take? I mean, it's again, narratives. These are narratives. Oh man, it's just scary. Sailor needs to stop buying. He's defeating the purpose. You're saying like he has too many, I'm guessing. Yeah, I mean, he gets game theory. He gets it. When they can buy things at their local stores with Bitcoin, they'll go to their broker to ask for their Bitcoin and find out they don't have any. Yeah, people are going to learn some hard lessons. They're going to learn some hard lessons. Bitcoin is truly an army of peace and truth, incentivizing peace and truth. Yeah, that's so true. We are all slaves to the Fed unless you own Bitcoin. It is, I mean, think about it. It is wild that the Fed has an account with nothing in it, zero in it, and they can just issue IOUs to the Treasury. They swap IOUs. The Treasury gives the bonds to the Fed. So the Fed has nothing in it. They get to just stack the bondage. They stack the population, their balance sheet, all the assets in, the assets or the asset column in the balance sheet is all of our bonds, our national debt, and we got to pay for it, tax and interest to pay this stuff off. And they didn't have anything to even purchase it with in the first place. They have nothing. I mean, think about the lunacy. Bondage. It's literally bondage. Government bonds are bondage. It's so insane. What a great way to enslave a population. It's just beyond me. It's absolutely beyond me. And then again, you don't need charts and graphs and all this stuff to make these points to people, to human beings. Most people speak at a 4th or 5th grade reading level. No one understands charts and graphs. All that is out to lunch. That's why something like this book is so important. Ethics over economics. When people start realizing the ethics of things and just true and false or just, right and wrong, there we go. Now we win. Now Bitcoiners start winning. And then seeing bad things happen too, unfortunately. We're going to have to juxtapose it with that as well, contrast. Yeah. Those are great points. There you go. I was saying the whole time. So there you go. I'm a little behind though. What if all the people are from India? I don't know, Chris, what that's referring to though. Not really sure. Shinku, yeah, 19 live. I know we've been chatting on here before live, but I think it's been a little bit though. The infrastructure has been built, and people think Bitcoin will go down to 10K. Yeah, I mean, boy, oh boy, would that be truly amazing if Bitcoin went down to 10K? That'd be incredible. Be selling. I'd be like Fun and Dick and Jane, and just like when they cut up the grass and they're like selling the sod to try to recoup cash and stuff. Oh, that'd be amazing. I'd be cutting up the lawn. We go hunting. We have to be selling, venison. Who knows? I mean, just be everything you can think of. Peeps be sleeping. Yeah, peeps are sleeping right now. It's 10 o'clock. I figured, hey, you know what? Maybe a night show. I feel like people are up. A lot of times, the podcast gets watched a lot between like 9 and like midnight, actually. So I figured maybe people would be on. Maybe it's a little bit harder with a live stream though. Waves, all things reverse. Yeah, Bitcoin is better property than anything else. Yeah, it is. It's just, and again, people get caught up in this narrative. It's like money is a ledger. It's many things, but it's a feedback loop. It's a ledger. It's a container for your time and energy. It's a bunch of these things. The best non-sellable good. It's all this stuff. But people think this utility word. It gets crypto people caught up. It gets gold and silver people caught up with the utility. I don't know why utility is such a word that people get caught up with, but it's intrinsic value. Again, like intrinsic value is relative. Like if we, again, this is an example of it. If you're stranded on an island, like are gold bars going to do anything for you if you're stranded on an island? Like it's not valuable to me, right? So, people, again, it's humans, the narratives and people getting caught thinking too hard, and again, people are too smart. A lot of times they outsmart themselves. Occam razor. The simplest answer is almost always the right answer. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're getting at. It's trying to back ourselves up basically, and maybe come up to a 100,000 foot view. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Come up to a 100,000 foot view and just showing people the landscape instead of, hey, did you know there's 21 million? Yeah. So it is truly better property. Chris, you shall get there. Hey, if we go to 10,000, you're definitely getting there. I don't think we will. You're gonna get there either way. But what's going on? Bitcoin Trini, what up? Good to see you. Joey, just got done. Thanks, brother. Thanks for the live stream or the comment on the hat. Appreciate you. Joey and I were just in the live stream a little bit ago. I believe that's you, Joey, right? It's got to be you. Just on BTC Sessions live stream earlier. So that was a lot of fun. That got really out of hand really quickly. Good morning. We got a lot of good morning Bitcoiners. Where are you guys at right now? Are you guys in, 6 hours ahead is 4 a.m. in the UK. We got people over in the Middle East right now watching, or we got BTC Moon Guy. Joey? No. Where are you guys at? Looking forward to 2026. It's going to be great. Still going up forever. Yes, it is, Drew. There's no bottom to fiat, I guess. Well, bottom zero, but what's the inverse of that? It's infinity. This is very, very simple. Again, I will say though, so in saying all this, logic, reason, facts, great. Bitcoin has all of it. First principles, allows the thermodynamics, all these things. But, Saylor said this a couple of years ago too. If people don't care about sound money, if we aren't getting up off our behind and educating people, each one teach one, running a node, self-custody, putting where's my dang stamp seed plate? If we're not putting, we're not using, putting our stuff on generating our seed, putting on a seed plate. If we're not doing these things and we don't replace then spend, we're not doing the circular economy, all these things, then yes, the network will wither over time and people won't care. It'll just be a co-opted system. People just think it's an asset inside their portfolio, and it's the psychological aspect that we need to be careful of. That's truly what we need to be careful of, because yes, mathematically, Bitcoin will go up forever because it is completely inverse of fiat. Fiat is infinite. Bitcoin is finite. Therefore, it will go to the moon, literally. But we will build on top of that. That's what's really going on with the scenes, with the mining, with the companies, the corporations, all the different things that are happening. That's the real building. That's what's actually happening, which is truly amazing. And then let me know, guys, on the stream. Hopefully the stream is better quality as well. So someone comment if you could, if the quality seems better. So hopefully it is better. But do the Kiane, go sign this. Please go sign it for Kiane and for Bill, if you haven't already. Freedom for all of us. Privacy. It's going to be huge going forward. And AI, CBDCs, what's happening here going forward, wild. Absolutely wild what we're entering. But we're always up for the challenge. That's why we're here. That's why we were born, folks. Sports fans. What Joey? What did Don Cherry used to say? Oh my gosh, sports fans, gang. I forget what he used to say. Hey, sports fans. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of it? I've only watched the 30 Don Cherry videos like 5,000 times each growing up. This is going to be a massive 2026. Yes, it is. Hydropower, solar, wasted gas. Bitcoin is thriving on wasted energy. It is truly amazing. And the irony, we didn't say this earlier, but the irony of all is that then you have, so the AI companies are coming to Bitcoin mining companies and hooking up with for their power, and because they already have the contracts in place. That's the irony in all this, is that they need the Bitcoin miners at the end of the day. That is the best part. The irony in all this is that they need the Bitcoin miners. You can't make this stuff up, guys. So the people that were fudding Bitcoin forever are now, well, hey, you know what? Hat in hand over here. Can we hook up with your energy contracts? We kind of need these. I kind of need to work with you on this energy stuff. So Bitcoiners are already there, already have the energy contracts in place. So now Bitcoin miners are doing well in that sense because these companies need the data, the energy grid, and they need the structure, and they need this build out. It's just hilarious. It's so, the irony is just, it's just dripping. What is tougher, getting a hat trick or getting to 1 Bitcoin? Well, that is a great question. It's also a very loaded question because it depends on where you're playing hockey. It depends on what league you're in, and how old you are, and getting to what Bitcoin again. That's what, what are your means, I guess, right? And what's the price of Bitcoin at that time, right? So there's a lot of factors there, Chris. That's a great question. I wouldn't even know how to answer that, to be totally honest. But I will say, most people probably don't know how to skate. So I'll say getting to 1 Bitcoin is easier. I'm just going to say it. Let's go. It's more important. I will say, I love hockey. Love hockey. It was my life growing up for a long time. But this is my life. This is my calling. This is what I know I was meant to do, actually. And why I was getting hurt, because I was meant to do other things. So that's why we're here. I'm talking to you beautiful people. So I mud footballs. Oh, man. Yeah, my just in giggles, just vibing on this account. I love it. Stream quality is good. Well, that's good to know. That is good to know, Chris. Thank you. Let's go. 720, Joey said. Let's go. It's running smooth. All right, well, maybe we have StreamYard. Maybe this is our place. I thought Restream was going to be it. Riverside is where we do the pod, record the long pod. But maybe I'm going to talk to Nathan at SOB. So, yeah, SOB. Wow, it doesn't sound right. It's getting late. I think I slept for like 4 hours last night, so I'm tired. He was telling me Restream. He's like, yeah, we record on Riverside, and then Restream is where we do lives. But I think I need to do StreamYard for my internet here. I don't know why. Internet's really good here, and it just does not like Riverside or Restream that much. So that's very interesting. But great stuff, guys. Unless you guys have any other questions or anything. I've been going for, 52 minutes. Holy cow. Check out the Keone. Do that. I'm going to flash it on the screen here. Check this out. Bada bang, bada boom. Go check out Keone. Sign that. Got to do it. Trump's been talking about it the last couple days. Bam. The last couple days, Trump talked about it, and we had a couple days left. But the fight does not stop. It will not stop. Shinku, thanks, brother. I appreciate the super chat. That means a lot. You know what? That might be the first super chat we've got. I think that is. I think we've got other people that over time that have given stuff to like random, pre-recorded videos. But thank you. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. That means a lot. Do you think AI? So congrats. First one. First real live super chat. So thank you. Do you think AI is using Bitcoin for transactions in the near future? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely doing it at some point. I don't know if in the near future or like if you're talking the next, couple years, next 5 years. But I think it's inevitable that yes. I mean, all this stuff is inevitable. It's if we do the work, if we teach one, if we put our work in, if an asteroid doesn't hit the Earth and there's not an EMP that knocks out the entire grid of the entire world, basically, then yes, these things will happen. So do the work and don't have an asteroid hit us and don't have an EMP knock out the entire Earth grid all at one time and all the satellites and everything. So as long as those things happen, so again, the thing we can control basically is put the work in, keep showing up, keep talking to people, be loud, meme, Sign petitions like this. Use your contacts. Community. I mean, community is the number one aspect of a survival situation. That's why Orange Pill app or Club Orange is so good. And meeting with Bitcoin, there's almost 20,000 Bitcoin in there. People you can meet all over the world. I mean, think about that. It's wild. And it's just growing. I mean, I remember when they started a couple years ago and Brian met up with Mateo at Pacific Bitcoin 2022 and now they're have 20,000 people on there. And you look at stuff like Crowd Health, again, another one, Bitcoiners decentralizing healthcare. And again, it's I'm it's wild. I mean, I think they have either 10 or 20,000 members now. I can't remember. They have either 10 or 20,000 and they just started in the last few years too. Andy, who we just had in the pod. And so people are building stuff and it's like, I think we all wish it was happening sooner. We all wish it was happening faster. And I'm who knows, maybe I'm guilty of that more than anybody. I feel like I get into these modes where I'm just thinking, wow, what is actually happening? Like how is this how are we not seeing this? What is actually happening? So Shinku, thank you for this. Thank you again. Really appreciate that. Very grateful for you guys. Do you think AI again is using Bitcoin for transactions in the near future? Yeah. I mean, and again, I think what you're saying is peer to peer too. Let me get I'll put the thing in the chat. So sorry, I should have done that. Oh crap. I should have done this for you guys and put it in here. I'm going to put the Bill and Keone link in the chat here. So there you go. Sign that. Hopefully that should come up. And then I don't know. I got to try to pin this somehow. So this, dang it. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, no problem, Connor. So that's how you sign the petition. Mr. Dinkles, I guess you like the Sydney then? Is that? Oh yeah, we did mention Sydney Sweeney earlier. Is that what you were talking about? We mentioned Kim Kardashian and Sydney Sweeney. So yeah, we were talking about people getting distracted about with ridiculous things, and that's what hodling is conviction, and it's putting your 10,000 hours in, your 1,000 hours, your 100 hours in, and just in watching content, repetition. I did have family or friends that make fun all the time. Back in the day, 10, 15 years ago, I'd be listening to like Robert Kiyosaki over and over, real estate and money and what is money and all stuff. And it was like the same, like, I can't, it's like the same thing over and over again. And I was like, yeah, that's how you learn. Like that's how, like in sports, it was like, I would go shoot as a kid growing up. I would go out in the driveway and I'd shoot 500 pucks a day. I'd have a bucket with 50 pucks in it and I'd shoot 10 groups of those, and I do different shots, or 500 pucks a day. I do it for like 3 or 4 months of the summer. And I was like doing the math one day. I was like, man, I've shot millions of pucks in my life. And that's how you get good at anything, right? Studying Bitcoin, playing the piano, art, whatever it might be, sports. So don't get distracted though. My point is, you don't just do it one time, listen to one Bitcoin thing and then just get it. It's over and over again. And that's why some of the content we do, it's not just to bring new people in, it's also to strengthen the conviction of myself and strengthen the conviction of you guys, and just repetition over and over and understanding, because you feel crazy at times, right? Like we feel like we're going nuts at times, many times, probably all the time. And so it's, how do I strengthen my conviction, and how do I know what I'm doing is the right path? Am I going the right path? This is how I found Bitcoin. I mean, I was left college, played in the minor leagues for a few years, started, getting hurt, and played single A, double A, then triple A. I was just getting hurt. And I just was like, you know what? I have more things to do in life. I have more that I'm meant to do than this. I love hockey so much, but it's, getting fights, doing stuff. And so this was how I got to understanding Bitcoin though, because I went to real estate, reading books about the financial system, Robert Kiyosaki books, Donald Trump books, Mike Maloney books, G. Edward Griffin, right? Creature from Jekyll Island, all these books in 09, 10, 11 as a 22-year-old. And you realize very quickly, wow, the system is completely against all of us, right? The fiat currencies aren't broken. They're doing what they're supposed to do, but we need to fix this. How do you get around this? Well, gold and silver, real estate and stuff like that. But I was always looking for other things. I was always trying to triangulate truth and find other avenues that I might be missing. What am I blind to? And so that's where it eventually led 5, 6 years later, 2015, 16, 17, I started seeing Bitcoin and got into a few altcoins as an investor. It was like, okay, I'm going to position size and a bunch of small little bets on these altcoins. Fortunately had went further down the Bitcoin rabbit hole. But then by 2018 or whatever, it was like, no, it's Bitcoin. Like, and then, so I started moving everything into Bitcoin. And it was only because I was open, because I was gold and silver guy and real estate guy and this stuff, and so hardcore 5, 6, 7 years of just studying that and espousing that to people, that facts changed. And so I had to change. And that's why I come back to, it's not an IQ test. It's an ego and humility test, period. That's what Bitcoin is. It's, can you put the work in? Can you learn, unlearn, and then relearn? It's not an IQ test. Again, like we said, it's narratives, it's emotion. And so these are very simple concepts to understand. And that's why Bitcoiners too, all of us, it is hard because you have to go through this gauntlet. It's not like we woke up one day and just, oh yeah, hey, Bitcoin's going to be it. I had a vision or a dream. You have to go through this gauntlet. You have to go through this process of getting burned. You have to go through this whole journey of the hero's journey in a way. You have to go through getting burned with altcoins, getting scammed, having your stuff in an exchange, keeping it there and getting ripped off, having gold and silver, trying to do real estate, whatever it is. I was doing real estate for 10 years. I did it from 2012 to 2022 when I was finally able to offload my team, or just properties, my team, things like that, because I realized that I needed to be out of that system and give energy to the Bitcoin system, because that system was going down. And so I did it for a while, a decade, and it was incredibly taxing, challenging, tons of education needed, experience, cash, investors. I mean, we'd raise money. I had, dozens and dozens of investors that would invest with that, but you get looking around and I'm like, who can do this? Like no one, there's not, like I had a few people that would do it as well. And there's numerous people in our area in Michigan that would do it. But you looked around and you're like, is this a society that we want to live in, where like you have to be a mini Donald Trump, or you got to be mini, Robert Kiyosaki in order to get ahead? I'm all like, I was capitalism guy, where it's like, yeah, you just got to work harder, man. Like look at this guy. He came up from the slums and he was able to do it all or whatever. But that's just not how life works. Like you should be able to save more than you spend and get ahead in life, whether you work at McDonald's or you're a doctor. If a doctor makes 10 Bitcoin a year and the guy working at McDonald's makes 1 Bitcoin a year, and after 10 years, the guy working at McDonald's saved 0.1 Bitcoin a year, and the doctor saved no Bitcoin a year, well, after 10 years, the doctor would have 0 Bitcoin, and the guy working at McDonald's saved more than he spent and has 1 Bitcoin. 0.1 times 10 is 1 Bitcoin. So at the end of 10 years, if Bitcoin is 100,000 or 10 million, if it's 10 million, the guy working at McDonald's has $10 million. And if fiat still exists, and the doctor has none. So again, that's a world where you shouldn't have to be a trader. I mean, that was my last thoughts, but I really didn't touch on this in the show today, but you shouldn't have to be a trader at night. You shouldn't have to be an investment manager, hedge fund manager at night. Not only are you not going to be great at it, it took me, I had 8 people on my team. I was spending thousands and thousands of dollars a month just to market for properties, pay people to help me do stuff. And you could barely find anything. And you're like sitting around like, man, if I'm doing this, like what is everyone else doing? And so that's where money should just be money. The utility of money is just being money. it's just saving my time and energy. And not that you're going to reduce the wealth gap, because there's always going to be rich and poor, but you shouldn't have the poor and the middle class just being eroded and falling through the floor. It should be a standard of living that keeps going up. And maybe the wealthy keep getting really wealthy, but the poor and middle class keep moving up over time as well in a neutral money, a finite money, where everything keeps getting cheaper. All the standard of living keeps going up instead of everyone just getting degraded and robbed over time. It's just a psychotic world. So that's where I came to this epiphany of, again, after years of all this stuff, studying all these different angles, and you're sitting there, wow, this is the greatest threat to humanity. Just the wealth gap, but not in the wealth gap of the modern day liberal in America, but the wealth gap in the sense of the poor middle class just being completely hollowed out. That was, and you're seeing it all over. Obviously, you're seeing it in civil unrest, homelessness, all these different things. Right? Home affordability, People don't want to get married. They can't get married. Collapse of the family. People don't want to have children. That's all civil unrest. That's all collapse of society. That was a long rant on Sydney Sweeney. So there's the petition. Go check that out. Tora, great to see you. Love Kiyosaki. Yeah, Kiyosaki is one of my favorites of all time. He's my biggest mentor financially by far. He was instrumental to me just where I am now. So yeah, it's a lot of very grateful for him. A lot of respect for him. I know people give him a hard time as he's predicted. I know the memes of like he's predicted 1,000 crashes. All that stuff. I probably listened to 1,000 hours of Robert Kiyosaki. So he's a context shifter, and all he does is try to get people to think out of the box in essence. And so after listening to 1,000 hours, I kind of speak Robert Kiyosaki, I guess, if you will. So it's funny because I've read all his books. I've listened to him for so long, and he's damn near 80 years old. He's 75, 77 or whatever now. And the fact that the guy's into Bitcoin, I know he's talking about Ethereum again a little bit and stuff like that. Just amazing. I mean, the fact that the guy never stops learning. He never wants to stop learning. And that's like, I hope I'm like that. Like when I'm almost 80 years old, that my brain's still going. I'm still trying to like figure stuff out. And the guy's he's a brilliant marketer. I mean, that's what he is first and foremost. He's a marketer. He's brilliant when it comes to that. Best financial book of all time because he speaks at a 3rd, 4th grade reading level, Kiyosaki style. That's why they wrote a few books together. I mean, they're very similar in that regard. Brilliant in that regard. None of us are perfect. I know they're not perfect people, but they are brilliant at what they do. And Kiyosaki, the one thing too about Kiyosaki is he's a real estate guy, but he's not like people are like, oh, he's a scam, he's a fraud, and he's went bankrupt. It's like he licensed out his content. So for a long time, for a couple decades now, he's licensed out his brand. So a lot of people would go do things in his name in essence. And so anyway, not to adjudicate him, but those things have happened over the years. And people would say like, oh, Robert Kiyosaki doesn't know anything about real estate. How come he's not teaching me about real estate? It's not his job. His job, like he had Ken McElroy as his real estate guy. Mike Maloney is gold and silver guy, right? Andy Tanner is his stock guy. And Tom Wheelwright's his tax guy. He has a team. His whole point was business is a team sport. I don't want to be the expert. I'm the dumbest guy. If I'm the dumbest guy in the room, then I'm doing something right. So again, that's such like the premises of Kiyosaki, just some simple premise of context of him. And so he was a context shifter. He was the marketer. He was the kind of like a Max Kaiser for, and many of you guys know Max, right? Very similar, like context shifter, performer, guys that get it, but they're trying to do things differently to speak to the average person and to wake them up, shake them out of their stupor. That's probably the best way to put it. $500 a day. Wow. Yeah, Christopher. Yeah, it went by pretty quick though. I mean, just fun. You just dump the bucket out and just ripping them. We had a little piece of plastic, big piece of plastic I put on the driveway, and the net I had was like 25 years, at least. We still have it. Play pond hockey sometimes still. So still somehow in decent shape. I have no idea. It's probably the best purchase my father ever made. So did destroy the garage door though. Had thousands of puck holes in the garage back in the day. So yeah, that was a expensive replacement. Row bod with Rajat was awesome. Shinku, thank you. And again, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Again, I do think Bitcoin will absolutely be used for AI. Again, gold and silver can't be. We know that. So it's going to be Bitcoin, and it's going to be the incorruptible money. Again, what is AI going to pick? Going to pick some centralized controlled, XRP or, Ethereum or some, BS, proof of stake thing? No, of course not. It's, I mean, some of them are going to run them. Yeah. Like you're going to have people like actually, go and like, oh, here, run my coin. Like, yeah, it's that kind of crap will happen. But it's, again, AIs are only going to use sats, slinging sats around the internet. Again, we can already see that, what's very hard is zoom out. It's very hard to see because we live in this day to day. It's the picture from 1901 in Times Square where there's one car and all horses. And then 10 years later, it's no horses, one car. Or yeah, right. Yeah. Or sorry, no cars. No horses, one car. Wow. Why can't I say that? One horse, all cars. The rest are cars. So opposite. Oh, it's getting late. It's getting too late. Thank you, Shinku. The pod, we're gonna do another one tomorrow. I don't know where we're streaming at, if it's on Robin's channel or Rajat's channel, if it's my channel. I have no idea what's going on. It's supposed to be 2 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. We'll be doing another one. Love Robin as well. We have so many good people starting to do content in the space now and have been doing content. I know some of you will probably be doing content at some point as well in the space, which I really look forward to, because I listen to all kinds of different pods. Like I said, I try to get a sample of all kinds of different people, content, angles, the way people look at things. I absolutely love it. Your pod with Rajat was awesome. Yeah, no, so thank you. It's good to have a community because it's easy to doubt yourself. When I get black-pilled, I watch a Sailor video. Yeah, 100%. And we all do. We all get black-pilled at times. We all get nihilistic. We all get down the dumps. And it's frustrating. And so we have to zoom out, pick up the Constitution, pick up common sense, pick up the Bible, modern chains, ethics before economics. There's so much good literature, community, but again, the community is so important. Whether it's the Orange Pill app, Club Orange now, or your local meetup, go to a conference. Maybe it's your friends and family. Maybe we do this here on the live stream, stuff like that. It's huge. It's where people pick you up where you fall short, because we don't know where we're going to fall short. We never know. Everyone can win with Bitcoin. That is so true. I don't know if it's good to see you, AI Overlord. I don't know if you were here earlier. We were talking about that. The last person in Bitcoin will win as well, because life will keep getting better so much. People will be happier inside of Bitcoin. Every time someone joins the network, they get happier and happier over time. And then the last person in will be living in a much better world. The last person to accept fiat, which could be the British crown. Who knows? It could be, UK, which I might have my money on that. They'll be living in a better world, like it or not, whether they like it or not. That's awesome, Chris. I destroyed my garage too with a lacrosse ball. That's awesome. I don't think I've ever heard of the lacrosse ball. I mean, I knew a lot of people, not a lot of, I knew numerous people that destroyed the garage doors with hockey pucks, but yeah, I don't know. I think it was my neighbor. My neighbor is 6 years older than I was. So I was like 10 or 12 and he was probably like 18, 16, 18. And he didn't play hockey, but he would come over, and I want to say he maybe put the first dent or two in the door, maybe, possibly. And then at that point, I was kind of like, well, there's already some dents. And then, yeah, I just kind of spiraled from there over the years. But then eventually we changed it. Got the net, put a big netting behind, stuff like that, whatever. But great stuff, guys. Went way longer than I was supposed to. I was going to go for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And we have gone for an hour and 12. Holy cow. Appreciate you guys. This is fun doing it at night, though. I'm like getting delirious, though. So it's fun doing it deliriously. And look forward to live stream tomorrow. I'll try to put on YouTube or Twitter you guys will see it probably. It's on Rajat's channel or Robin's or mine or wherever. We've got Alan Hibbard podcast coming out, Seb Bunny. We've got so many good ones coming. Hope you guys enjoy them as much as I did doing them. I got some smart people. Alan Hibbard's so incredibly smart. Has some choice words for Bitcoiners, but he is a Bitcoiner himself. He's Golden Silver guy and Bitcoiner. Amazing guy. Brilliant guy. The people we have in our space are amazing and brilliant. So, I mean, you guys here, the creators in the space, the business builders, the people at conferences, you name it, the thinkers, the philosophizers, the writers, just everyone we have in this space, no better team to be on. It is truly remarkable. So we are very blessed. Yes, you're welcome. If you guys want to support the show, links should be in the description for the different, Club Orange, whatever it is, the titanium stamp seats, get your discounts on those things. Appreciate you a ton doing that. Meanwhile, Bitcoin denominated life insurance and crowd health, everything, decentralizing healthcare, amazing things that are going on. Most important thing is Keone, this thing right here. So I'll try to flash it again. Where'd he go? Boom. Check them out. Hit it. Got the link right here. Try to link it again so people can see it. Yeah, it is. It's good to have another Bitcoiner and awesome guy to hang on with. It truly is. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Because the whole point of this show today was narratives, right? Facts, logic, reason, all this stuff does not matter. It's community. It's the narrative. It's emotion. It's the vibes. It's the memes. Perhaps the sentiments contained in the following pages are not yet sufficiently fashionable to procure them general favor. A long habit of not thinking a thing wrong gives it a superficial appearance of being right. Wild. It's just so amazing. So incredible. These guys, the way they write too is unbelievable. So because people just accept things for so long, it just looks right after a while, right? Like, no one really said anything, and it's not really hurting anyone. I'm not doing anything wrong, so is it really that wrong? And it raises at first a formidable outcry in defense of custom. Well, that's not what it used to be, or whatever. But then soon the tumult subsides. Time makes more converts than reason. Time makes more converts than reason. So it's not logic. It's not reason. It's not math, charts, numbers, macro. Love my macro guys. I was that guy too. That was me 5-10 years ago. I love the Jeff Rosses. But that's, as we've seen, it's the adoption, each one teach one. That's what's going to build the community, the circular economy at the end of the day. People understanding what's going to win. We are going to win. Appreciate you guys a ton. Wish we could go all night. Check the pod out, the live stream I did with Rajat. It should be on our channel. It is on our channel, I believe. And we'll try to restream I'll try to rebroadcast the one tomorrow. If it's not on a channel, I'll rebroadcast it here. And then Friday, I'll see you guys with Jason from Meanwhile. Saturday, I'll probably just do one myself, possibly. Next week, I think we'll have a bunch of content guys. So Joey, who was on here earlier, Canadian Bitcoin Podcast, maybe Walker, Nathan from Bitcoin Mentor, BTC Sessions, maybe Joe Consorti. Might be a few of us. Might be a handful of us. Cedric from the Bitcoin Matrix. Might try to have a handful of the guys on a live stream on Monday. Tuesday, maybe James from Stampseed, possibly. If not, maybe the week after. And then I'm either going to live stream with Brian DeMint and Mateo from Club Orange, either that following week between Christmas and New Year, or we might just record a pod together. Maybe we'll do that. So appreciate you guys a ton. We are going to win. I'm going to put this on here at the end. We are truly going to win. Check out all the great shows, too. All the great shows in the morning. Yeah, what day is it? In the morning tomorrow. If Nolan's doing his show, amazing show. One of the smartest guys that I know. Simply Bitcoin Boys. I think Robin has his show in the morning now, Eastern time. Just so many good creators out there. So much good content, guys. We are blessed. We're going to fight. We're going to win. Godspeed.